Harris represents more of the status quo. She is not charismatic. She is not overly engaging, and she can't stay on message. And so you have a complete contrast. And also, we've seen what this administration can do over the last 3 years, 7, 8 months.
You know, I'm wondering, you don't want to overinterpret stories or link them together. That's always dangerous. But a number of very popular Democratic figures are under what I would call polling duress. Now, Kamala Harris is still in the thick of it. It's still a race too close to call. I get that. Gavin Newsom's poll numbers have gone down in California. Mayor Eric Adams in New York City almost appears to be a politically dead man walking, with scandals bedeviling him. What is going on with the Democratic Party beneath the surface?
The voters in these Democratic cities have lost patience, and they're also losing African-American voters, especially African-American men. Take a look at the liberal bastion of Boston, Massachusetts. The average household net worth of a white household is $215,000. It's $11,000 for an African-American household, 20 times more in terms of the disparity. Jobs and economic growth are not working, and public safety, quality of life. All you have to do is look at these cities, and what you see is a diminishing quality of life. And we're back to like the 1990s, and the voters are losing patience across all demographics, because people are Americans, and Americans are losing patience with being fearful of their safety and walking around their communities.
We've been reporting, and we're going to elaborate on this Wall Street Journal story that's out today, Don, that shows the Harris campaign is really zeroing in, like a laser beam, if you will, on female voters and women voters, that she has a disproportionate edge there over Donald Trump, who enjoys the same edge with male voters. How do you see that sorting out?
Well, one, I don't think Harris's edge is as strong as it shows, because I think they've made women uncomfortable saying they're not going to vote for her, because she would be the second woman, she's the second woman nominee for the Democratic Party's presidential candidate, and another chance of becoming president. And I think that men are probably underpolling for Trump, because some don't want to say that they're not looking at a female candidate, and they're being lectured to by many in the Democratic Party of not being receptive to women. So I think the gap is more narrow on women and wider on men.
You're a good finance guy. You're well connected in financial circles. You might have heard that Donald Trump today had said on Fox and Friends that if he were to lose, there's going to be a depression. He has similarly said in the past, if he were to lose, the markets would tank. Whatever leanings you have in this race, do you agree with that?
No. What I like about Donald Trump is his hyperbole. He tends to emphasize and sometimes overemphasize. I think his economic policies, as they've been outlined, would be considerably better than Harris's economic policies. In fact, we don't know enough about Harris's proposed economic policies to even make an informed decision. So I think
that's why he was saying what he said, right? That's why he's saying what he said, that the markets like what he is proposing, even if they might not personally like him, and they'd be very upset, I'm just paraphrasing here, if he didn't win. Is that true?
I think that the markets would respond negatively if he lost. I think this is really, look, if this is a race about policy, he's going to win hands down. If it's a race about personality and who's less likable, it'll be a tighter race. But I see him winning. I look at all these numbers and I see him winning.
Okay. We'll see what happens. Don, thank you.